Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre here in Geneva at Vachron Constantin, Watches and Wonders with Christian Salomoni. Good to see you.
Hello Teddy, how are you? Good to see you too. Welcome.
Thank you very much. And we're in good hands today. Christian, we were talking in 34 years with the company.
Yes,
if there's
sir.
anybody that knows Vacheron, it's you. And there's new things to talk about. So we have some watches in front of us. I'd love to go through the new novelties for 2024.
With pleasure. So I suggest that we start with Patrimony. So as you may remember, Patrimony was launched in 2004 with a 40mm diameter timepiece, time only, in rose gold. And so we are celebrating this year the 20th anniversary of Patrimony. And so what did we do? We have a brand new Patrimony, simple model, manual winding, time only, with some changes. So let me guide you through.
Please.
The first thing I would like to tell you is that we have reduced the diameter from 40 down to 39. So you may tell me this is not a big difference. However,
it is.
It is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's really it's like changing a category. So I think the new watch is wearable by many more wrists than the 40mm for obvious reasons. So this is the first thing that I wanted to talk to you. Second thing, inside we have a new caliber 1440, which is not an evolution of the previous one, the 1400, but a brand new caliber with some improvements, but still manual winding, 2.6mm thick, and the case back is closed. So
yeah, give me a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because you think of Vacheron Constantin, Geneva seal movements, why close case back?
Because we wanted to have in the Patrimony collection one model that you could personalize with engraving, like a message or a date or things like that. So this is why we decided to close the case back. It was the same situation for the 40mm diameter model. So we have this new Patrimony in two metal colors. So you have the white gold here, I have the rose gold. And other things which are interesting, the dial is different. If you remember, in the Patrimony, we had a silver dial with a background, I would say porcelain-like. And for this new version, we decided to change it, and we have sunburst on the back, which really reveals that the fact that the dial is curved, and the finishing, it's we call it old silver. This is kind of a hint of vintage, because that timepiece, as you know, was actually is very much influenced by watches from the 50s. So it gives to the timepiece a little bit more vintage than the previous one. On the rose gold, the dial color looks like a pale champagne, and on the white gold one, even if it's the same color, it has more, I would say, even greenish accents. So I think it's a very nice color. The rose gold model will be delivered on a blue strap, and we have a little twist in the white gold model. This is a two-tone dial, meaning that the indexes, the pearl minute track, the hands, they are in rose gold with a white gold case. So this is again something that we used to see in the 40s and the 50s, and I think it gives to the timepiece a very special touch.
Yeah, they talk about the change and the warmness on one versus the other. They do feel like different watches, even though many of the characteristics are the same. And I think 39 suits this watch exceptionally. These watches always popped off to me. Like I remember seeing it maybe in Abbey Road Studios where you had some of your wall clocks and things of that sort. Like this watch always posed itself as almost this watch you could hang on a wall, and now you have it on your wrist. It does always appear a little bit larger. So at 39, I think it really comes to form. I love that shift. So beautiful watch.
So. And as we are in the 20th anniversary of the Patrimony collection, we decided also to bring one complicated model. So this is the Patrimony retrograde days and moon phases. So this is a slightly larger case, so 42.5mm, because we need an optimal readability for the retrograde calendar. So that makes sense for us. And as you know, Teddy, so the retrograde function is a technical signature of Vachron Constantin.
Absolutely.
And we have a precision moon phase, which is, you don't need to set the moon phase for the next 122 years. And inside we have our in-house caliber 2460 R31M. And for the rest, we have the same treatment on the complicated one than the simple one, meaning we have the old silver dial, sunburst finish, and two-tone dial, and olive green strap. So I would say the three watches, they will not be limited in terms of limited edition or limited production. They will really be incorporated into the regular collection.
All right, Christian, so then we shift to the overseas. And people ask me all the time, like, what are some of your favorite dials in the industry? I reference the overseas as being one of my favorites. So to see now, green. Exciting, I'm enticed. Tell us more.
Yeah, so thank you for your comments. So well, as you love the overseas dials, well, to tell you about the green dials, I should start with the blue dial.
Please.
So, yeah. You know, when we launched the overseas current generation in 2016, we really wanted to have a very unique dial, which would have a lot of depth, a lot of sophistication, and we have developed well this signature blue here, which is probably the signature dial of overseas. And we wanted also, when we thought about doing green dials, we said to ourselves, okay, so then we have to develop a green dial which is as much interesting or as much spectacular than the blue one. So this is why we're coming this year with this brand new green dial on all the rose gold models. So in fact, it has the same, I would say, recipe, if I may say. So it's a mix of different techniques, including a transparent lacquer on the top to give this depth. And such it is the case with the blue dial of the overseas. Depending how the light is catching the surface of the dial, the green dial looks pale, almost really like a pale green, or even like that, almost kind of black. So I think we found the same level of sophistication and complexity in the green dial compared with the blue dial. But you have to tell me what you think.
I do notice that it's a bit more of a sunburst type of finish on this, and like this is has a gloss slightly on that dial surface. So is it a different treatment?
No.
What's the process?
It's simply, I would say, the fact that the green color doesn't. I would say the same sunburst on the dial. However, it's just the difference between the blue color and the green color that creates that difference. But this is exactly the same. The same effect, the same sunburst on both.
And I do think the green with this case color does form together beautifully.
I fully agree with you. So for us, it really made sense to launch this green color with the rose gold models, because I think it's a great match. Definitely, yes, very much.
So we talked about green, but we have 3 different takes on it with complications as well.
Sure. So in your hands, you have the 41 millimeter three hands and date model. And in addition, we are coming with this with the dual time model here, which is well, actually one of our favorites, if I may say, because we have this second time zone hand and AM/PM hand, which have a red triangle. So I think it forms a great combination with the green dial.
Very nice. I mean, I love the use of just warm tones, earthy tones. It all kind of comes together very nicely. Yep. And then also a chronograph.
Yes, and obviously the chronograph, because the chronograph is almost I think it's mandatory in sports elegant collection. So again, a different, still the same tone. However, you can see that we have a different finish in the counters to give contrast and to help for readability.
More of a matte type of effect on the registers, good contrast. No, it's beautiful. And then in terms of what you're familiar with from the Gen 3 overseas, much remains the same outside of that.
Yes, very much. So again, self-interchangeable system, which is super easy, super quick. So in a few seconds, you are changing from gold bracelet to rubber, for example, and you get another watch. So this is something which is very important for the overseas, and we have the system is really excellent, and
it's some of the best in the business. No question about it.
Very much.
No question about it.
And this is not all for overseas. We have something else.
Yes, and one thing to set you up here is this case, along with the dial. We talked about the dial, but I think another star of the show for an overseas is its case, how it's finished, Maltese integration throughout. But now you have titanium.
Very much, yes.
I see the finish on this case remarkable. It's so lightweight. It feels like a completely different watch when I just picked this up. Tell us more.
Yes, so we are introducing this year the tourbillon, or the overseas tourbillon in titanium. So as you said, Teddy, so I think the biggest challenge is really to get the same level of polishing on titanium compared with the steel. So that was something really difficult to achieve some, I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago. But we have now a quality of titanium, a grade 5, which is really excellent, and that gave us the possibility to do exactly the same finishings compared with the steel. Even if the bracelet links themselves are pretty complicated to polish because they are three-dimensional, and we have this Maltese cross effect here, which is polished. But honestly, I think the result is just stunning. And of course, in addition, titanium is lightweight, and it's very comfortable on the wrist. And we see more and more clients who are really very much interested into titanium.
And then tourbillon as well, lightweight, beautiful blue dial as we discussed.
Yes, and we have our in-house automatic tourbillon with this super idea, which is to have a peripheral rotor.
Doesn't obstruct
which never hides the tourbillon and never hides the beauty of the caliber, which is absolutely gorgeous, in my humble opinion.
No, it's stunning. So Christian, now we're shifting into some higher complication as well, elegance here. What do we have in front of us?
Yes, in front of us we have the Traditionnelle chronograph tourbillon. However, this is a limited edition of 50 units that are into a capsule collection, which we call Collection Excellence Platine in French, meaning Platinum Excellence Collection. So maybe it would be good to explain what is really this Platinum Excellence Collection.
Please.
So in a nutshell, this is a kind of capsule collection within the Vachron Constantin portfolio watches, in which we are selecting year after year one model to be elected or selected for this capsule collection. So sometimes we are taking watches which are very interesting from a technical point of view, such as that one, or sometimes because we want really to enhance the design of a timepiece, or for historical reasons, such as was the case for the American 1921. And so we always do limited editions, which rules, if I may say, are we're going for the whole platinum. That means the case has to be in platinum, the crown has to be in platinum, the push piece here in platinum, the folding buckle in platinum, even the stitches of the bracelet are a mix of platinum and silk. But the key point is really the dial. So the dial as well is made of platinum 950, which is simply sandblasted, finely sandblasted, and that's it. No protection, no varnish, anything. This is pure platinum. And platinum, as we know, doesn't oxidize, so it will remain like that forever. And so it gives to I think it gives to all the watches part of this capsule collection a very monochromatic, almost sometimes stealthy elegance that is really something that we appreciate and that the collectors as well are appreciating.
That's stunning.
To introduce this I would say, this capsule collection.
So power reserve indicator at 6, 45-minute counter, mono pusher chronograph, tourbillon at 12 o'clock. The hands are not platinum though, correct? Those can't be platinum. Yes.
Actually, as a matter of fact, to give you an anecdote, so we have tried to make the hands in platinum. However, they simply refused to follow the direction we wanted them to go.
Is it the weight that's the problem?
Well, different thing. It's first of all, the polishing is another story than gold. So we haven't been able to reach a level of finishing that was comparable to gold. So sometimes
the Traditionnelle hands too, especially if you're trying on Traditionnelle with the dual finish that you have.
Exactly. So I think you are pointing on something which is super important. So in the Traditionnelle collection, we have our, if I may say, we have Dauphin hands, which are slightly different in terms of shape. But the main difference is that we have one side which is polished and the other side satin finished. That gives you a readability which is phenomenal. And what else can I say? So you said about everything. I think we have a super beautiful movement. Caliber 3200
Stunning.
From 2015, which is really also paying tribute to the great tradition of the fantastic movements for chronograph of the years, 30s, 40s, and the 50s, and that's why as well it is also a single button one.
Beautiful. One final thing I'd like to close on. Now, when we walked into your booth, there was a watch greeting us at the front. We don't have it in front of us, and there's for good reason because of how complicated it is, but there's watches that are an idea that somebody can own, but then there's also watches that are, I think, a test for a brand to show what you're capable of, to show how you can keep pushing forward. Tell us a little bit more about the high complication.
Yeah, sure. So we are talking about the Berkeley Grand Complication. So, actually, it's to introduce this timepiece. So I think there are three important points. The first point, I think, it's a matter of, if I may say, a human adventure, in the sense that this timepiece is a bespoke timepiece which is the result of a long relationship between a passionate collector and our master watchmakers from Les Cabinotiers. As a matter of fact, this collector, Mr. Berkeley, is the owner of the reference 57-60 from 2015, which was, until this week, the most complicated watch ever made with 57 complications. And the anecdote is that during the development of the 57-60, our collector came back to us and said, listen guys, so in case I would like to go for another one, will you be ready to take an even bigger challenge, which will be to create a Chinese traditional calendar perpetual, something that has never been made before. And so our watchmaker said, okay, so we'll take the challenge. And they had to work 11 years to achieve that timepiece. So why human adventure? Because it's showing, when you have on one side a passionate collector who is ready to wait 11 years for a timepiece in the 21st century, and on the other side you have very talented watchmakers, so you are really pushing the boundaries of watchmaking. And this collector reminds me of great names of the past, such as Henry Graves Jr.
Of course.
Or James W. Packard, for example. So I think this timepiece has to be seen, it's exactly the same process. So I think it's also showcasing how much the cabinetry workshop are important for us, because when we have such great collectors who are challenging us to raise the bar even higher, so this is something which is really phenomenal. And the last aspect, so of course that you said it in a way, this is really I think actually this is the summit of Vachron Constantin watchmaking art in terms of technicality in 2024. So I think this amazing timepiece covers all the types of completion that we are mastering, from astronomical complications to split-second chronograph, to also chiming functions, and much more.
What's the total complications, just for numbers and context for those?
Sorry?
Total complications for the watch?
63.
63.
63, yeah. But the idea, Teddy, was not really, okay, so we are going to break the record of the 57 to 60. No, in fact, the challenge was really to create that perpetual calendar, Chinese perpetual calendar. And then when it was achieved, we counted the complications and we reached the number of 63. So there is nothing with the numbers. It's just that finally we made even better than the 57 to 60, if I may say, in terms of complications.
Christian, thank you very much for this sit down. It's always a pleasure to come down with the Vacheron booth.
Thank you very
Another
much,
great year.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.